What up, bitches? Welcome back to Law of Attraction Changed My Life. I am your host, Francesca Amber, and this week I want to talk about something that I feel like so many people are feeling right now. You know, and we're all having like a collective experience, like we're in a cult. That's the vibes. That's the vibes the world is giving right now. So I've been having a really strange, I'm going to say week or two where I just feel really up and down. I feel really feel really empty. Just like a massive fucking void in my life. Extreme overwhelm, stress, none of that good shit, you know? We don't want any of that. No, thank you. And I noticed that as I'm speaking to friends, like different friends, different parts of the world, different groups, they're all saying the same. My friend from London, who shall remain anonymous, was like, I've cried 3 times today. Somebody that I work with was like, I haven't got the motivation to get out of bed. I just feel so overwhelmed with everything. Another person I speak to regularly, another friend, was just like, I'm just so stressed and overwhelmed today. And so I was on Instagram, as you do, and I noticed that Kirsty Gallagher had posted onto her stories saying, wow, it's insane that so many people are feeling the same right now. So if you're into astrology, if you're into cosmic weather reports, listen up, bitches, because this is what she had to say about what's been going on for like the last week or so. Can I just say as well, this is one of the only times it has stood me in good stead to record my podcast exactly 1 calendar day before it's released. These people that record shit months in advance, it ain't never going to work for me because this is literally in real time, babies. We are basically live and direct. So this is what she had to say about it. If you are feeling an extreme sense of overwhelm, heightened emotions, an inability to cope with noise or big crowds, and a desire to be alone, exhaustion and sleeplessness, old wounds and pain resurfacing, and like nothing is quite working out as it should, guess what? You ain't alone. We have some wild astrology and energy at the moment, alongside some of the most intense solar flares of this solar cycle and Mercury retrograde. The upcoming Aquarius full moon is some of the biggest astrology I've seen at a full moon. Plus it's a super moon and the final full moon before eclipse season begins. Oh, fucking hell. Then it's eclipse season. Brilliant. Brilliant. Love that for me. Well, all of us, let's be honest. Trust the process and take care of yourself and each other. We're in this together. So I reshared this to my stories and I had so many people slide in my DMs being like, oh, girl, same. Like we have all been feeling this same energy. So I'm really hoping that this applies to you and that you are listening to this today thinking, how can I get out of this rut? How can I get out of this down feeling that I'm in? So there are times when I start to feel like I'm in a bit of a rut and I'm feeling a little bit negative, a little bit down, and it can be due to any number of things. I think it's helpful to look at what season of life you're in right now. And when I say season of life, it doesn't have to be a huge season like I'm currently a student, I'm currently a mother. Like it's not that big, it ain't that deep. I'm talking about literally where are you at right now? Like I'm balls deep in the summer holidays. Summer holidays for me is all about being a present mum, kind of dropping the reins on everything else and then just being like, I'm here for my children. I'm here to make memes. I'm here, which in itself can bring a little bit of stress and pressure. But, you know, there's a real lack of routine. And that's part of what I love about the summer holidays is saying, fuck it to all of the obligations and the timelines and the deadlines. And we've got to be here at this time and we've got to be here at No. We ain't doing it. If we want to lay in bed making loom band friendship bracelets till 11 a.m, we will. But there's another side of that I know, is it ADHD? Is it not? I don't know. She can't get diagnosed. She ain't got the time or the attention span to commit to it. But I know that without routine, I can start to really flounder. So if you are feeling in this down place, yes, it could be the moon. Yes, it could be Mercury retrograde. I do believe those things really affect us. But just look at what season you're in right now. Are there some habits that you've been living with that are making it worse for you? I know for me, when it gets to around February each year, which, Christ on a bike, it's also my birthday, so that doesn't help me. I get really, really depressed. I get SAD really badly. And so sometimes we can just look at environmental factors and be like, is there something within my environment that is making me feel like I'm in a rut, making me feel stuck, making me feel demotivated? I think it's really helpful to just bring an awareness to that. So I've been feeling this way on and off for about 2 weeks now, and I decided enough is enough. You girls meant to be thriving. I'm meant to be out here thriving, living my best life. And I wasn't. I just wasn't. And so I decided to take a spoon of my own medicine and go back to the basics. Now, what I'm ashamed to admit here, but I'm going to admit it because I'm here for the betterment of all, is that I don't do these basics. Like a lot of these basics that I talk about all the time and I say, come on guys, you've got to do this. I forget to do them, which is why it's so important to remind yourself and so important to go back and not try and reinvent the wheel. There are so many tools and techniques that can help you instantly feel so much better, but we overlook them because they're seemingly so simple. So this week I had one work day. I had one day in which to get all my shit done. Now, my predominant feeling during my downtime was like overwhelm. I just felt so overwhelmed with having lots of stuff to do, right? And lots of stuff that I wanted to do, lots of stuff that has to be done. And so I decided I've got one work day this week. I'm going to make it fucking count. And this is how I got out of my energetic rut, okay? There are, how many points are there? There are like approximately 9, but I might round it up to 10 because top 10 tips sounds a lot better than 9. So this is how I made my day work for me and how I dragged myself kicking and screaming out of this rut. Number 1, I woke up and when I went to the bathroom, I looked at myself in the mirror. I either look at myself in the mirror or I look out the window over my garden fields. I really love that because the sun's rising. I feel like the universe is greeting me good morning. And I said to myself, Fran, what do you need today? Now, this is something that I took from the book, The Goddess Path. I went on a journey with the goddesses. And this is one of the little practices that I have kept from that book. This is something that I now do every day. And I just asked myself, what do I need today? And what's so wild about this is the answer will be different almost every single day. And this morning it was like, I need to hustle. Now, I very rarely use the word hustle. I'm trying to back out of the hustle culture. I'm trying to be less in my masculine, more in my feminine. But today I was like, I need to fucking hustle. There are some days where you just need to get shit done. And so I was like, today I need to hustle. I need to be on it. I need to be energetic. I need to be motivated. And I need to just do the thing I need to do. Do you know what I mean? And so that's a really helpful thing to wake up and ask yourself, what do I need today? Some days it will be, I need rest. Some days it will be, I need connection. Other days it will be, I need fun. Like I need fun and laughter. So just ask yourself, what do I need today? Number 2 is shortly after that, I went downstairs and I got my gratitude playlist banging out like a 1980s New York Vogue ballroom party. I was living for this gratitude playlist. Now, this is just a little playlist I made on Spotify of all the songs that remind me that I'm super abundant, I'm super blessed. They are songs that say thank you in them a lot because it's so powerful to wake up in the morning and say thank you, but not just say thank you. Fucking say, why say it when you can sing it? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there are no rights or wrongs. With your manifestation playlist, your gratitude playlist, you can have You Better Work Bitch by Britney Spears. I have Another Day in Paradise by Phil Collins. That reminds me when I think everything is shit and I'm hard done by, it reminds me that I am living another day in paradise. I have a roof over my head. My children are healthy. I'm living my best goddamn life and we should be so thankful for it. So I'm blasting out I Am Blessed by Eternal in the car as I take the girls to nursery. I am walking up to my office singing Thankful by Beth Hart. I am doing my stretches in my office to Vacation by the Dirty Heads, which is a song all about how when you do something you love for a living, every day is a fucking vacation. And this is something that, again, I'm really ashamed to admit. I've not done this in a long time. I got into a real habit of playing gratitude songs every single morning as I made the girls breakfast. And we've just got out of the habit. Maybe it's the summer holidays. I don't know what it is, but we haven't done it in a long time. And that felt amazing to really sing those songs and just get the vibes going. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, number 3, I sat for a moment. Now, bear with me here. If you're new to this podcast, I apologize. The next bit is going to sound a bit crazy, but if you're in the book club, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I sat for a moment with my goddess altar. Yes, she has a goddess altar in her office. It is directly under a Velux window because I like to open that Velux window and all I can see is sky. I'm just looking up at the universe and I can just see sky. My friend Louise Pentland, you know her. She's the OG YouTuber of back in the day. She said that she likes to do all of her gratitude and her manifesting outside because she thinks there's no barrier between her and the universe. And so that's the vibe I'm going for with my altar, okay? So I created this goddess altar to co-create with the universe and to remind myself that guess what? It ain't all on me. Like, thank God it's not all down to me. Like, I am not creating the life of my dreams. I am co-creating the life of my dreams. And I am totally able to ask for guidance, support, wisdom, whatever else you want from the universe, goddesses, your spirit team, your ancestors, angels, fucking Martha from Baby Reindeer, whoever you want to ask. Whoever you want to ask, you can ask from your goddess altar. And it's very, very comforting to know that I'm not doing this on my own, like I can co-create. So I spent 3 minutes with my goddess altar and I played the song Receive by Fia, F-I-A. And I just had a few moments of like sitting, meditating, asking the universe, work with me today, show me the way to go, show me the path of ease and flow, show me where I need to go. That wasn't meant to be a rhyme, but that's how it turned out. Number 4 is that I wrote, and again, I'm ashamed to admit this, I wrote my first gratitude list since January. I have not written a gratitude list since then. Every January, I spend a month in gratitude. Mostly because it's the shittest month of the year and I'm just needing to do something to get myself back out there and living life. And it always works amazingly. I'm always astounded. What am I, like 6 years into doing this? And I'm like, oh my God, gratitude works so well. I feel so amazing. It's amazing how quickly I forget. I'm like a goldfish. And so I sat down this morning and I wrote 10 things that I'm truly thankful for. I love to include a wide range of stuff. But one of the things, for example, is I'm really thankful for my microphone and my laptop for working. I'm really thankful that I have these 2 pieces of equipment and they work perfectly for me and I know how to use them. And together with the internet, I'm able to like bring a podcast to the goddamn masses. What a dream. What a time to be alive. We are living in the digital age. Our ancestors would not believe what the fuck is going on. And so writing a gratitude list and saying out loud, thank you, thank you, thank you for whatever it is that you've got. Like, it's absolutely amazing. It will literally switch up your goddamn vibe. Try it tomorrow. Number 5, this is something I've started doing semi-regularly, is I looked at my 2024 goal setting vision. Now, this is something that I never used to do. I used to set goals and then if they were long-term ones, I'd kind of forget about them and they'd be out of sight, out of mind. They'd be written down on a goal list somewhere in the back of a notebook and I'd never see it. But ever since I've been planning my year out on the 1st of January and setting my goals throughout the year, I now refer back to that workbook and I look through each quarter. I'm like, right, okay, I'm now in the summer. What was I hoping to have achieved by the summer? Have things changed? Do I need to get back on track with certain goals? And it really reminded me that I've been too hard on myself. I really have. I've been too hard on myself. My priority for this year was health. Well, I should say it still is. Health is wealth. That is my number 1 priority for the year. And that is something that I have consistently been working on. I'm not going to say it's an upward trajectory all the time. There are times where I will have a little relapse and I'll go down, but that's absolutely fine. Any kind of self-improvement is never linear. It's never, ever fucking linear. It's always going to be up, down, in, out, you know the gist. So I had to remind myself, Fran, your overwhelming number one priority for the year is health is wealth. And look at you fucking pole dancing and working out and stretching every day and controlling your calories and drinking water, filtered water, double, triple filtered water, distilled water. Okay. I'm obsessed with the water. And so it's great to remind yourself like, okay, yeah, I am hitting my mark, or I am doing what I wanted to achieve. But also, let's get real. We're almost in September. Where are you kind of slacking? Where should you be moving ahead and forging ahead and making moves? And so I would really urge you to look back on what you wanted for your life this year and use those goals, not as a way to shame yourself if you're not any closer towards them, but to motivate you. You can always pull shit out the bag at the last minute. This year ain't over yet. It ain't over. We've still got, okay, look, how many months do we have? September, October, November, December. We've got 4 months left. You can achieve a lot of shit in 4 months. You can start to take steady steps towards your goals, and you will start to see results both now, but also build results for next year, 2025, from what you're doing today. So there can be work that you are putting in today that people will be seeing the outstanding results of in 2025. I'm speaking to someone on Hinge. I know, don't get excited. And he said something to me today about he loves brick life. And I was like, what's this? Are you a bricklayer? If so, I'm down for that. She loves a tradie. No, he said brick life is where you're just laying a brick. Like every day you're laying a brick, and it's like if you go to the gym, you've laid a brick in your health and fitness house, right? If you have listened to this podcast or read a self-development book or not a whole book, that's a bit extreme, but like picked up a book and read a chapter, you're laying a brick in your mindset and your self-improvement wall or house or whatever. And how we just lay these bricks, and at the time, you stand back and it looks like a fucking brick, right? It's just one brick. What the fuck is that? But over the week, you're going to have a course of bricks. And then in a month, you're going to start to have a bit of a wall going on. Fucking high jump over that shit. And then you look at it in 6 months, you'll have a house. And so this is why I like to reflect back on bigger goals, because I like to remind myself the direction I'm going in. I like to remind myself why I'm taking the small steps that I'm taking. And maybe get a little bit back on track too. Okay, so number 6. Oh, this is something I haven't done for a really long time either. I created, not to sound like 2008 version of me, but I created a new vision board for my phone. Yes, I did. Now, creating a vision board for my phone is something that I used to do when I really wanted to manifest something all the time. I did it all the time. And it was so satisfying to put a picture of something on my phone, to really want it, to embody it, and then to receive it. Just off the top of my head, I remember when I lived in London in like my mid-20s, and living in London in your mid-20s was like, well, for everyone I knew, it's like you were like in a house share or you were in a flat share, and you were kind of like living a good life. You were going out and partying, but like you never had like loads of money, right? So the fact that I'd managed to actually buy my own property in London by my mid-20s, I thought I was fucking living. I thought I was Alan Sugar. Do you know what I mean? And the next step on my like goal list was I wanted to have a car. So when I lived in Essex, when I lived at home with my mum and dad, why did I say that? I've never said, I didn't live with my mum and dad. I don't know what, with my mum, okay? I had my own car, right? I had my freedom. I could drive around. Fucking love that for me. And not having a car because I lived in central London was something that was really starting to bother me. What a lovely, thing to have. Be like, do you know what? I would like a car. I'd like the option to be able to drive back to Essex and see my family and not be reliant on like a fucking Sunday service trains, all that shit. And so I put a picture of a little black smart car. I wanted a smart car because the parking in London is wild. And I got one. And it was so amazing to be able to tick that off my list and get rid of that vision board and be like, fucking manifested it, mate. Manifested it. It's done. I also did it when that lady told me that my twins were going to be boys. When the nurse told me the twins were going to be boys, I had little identical twin girl pictures taken from Pinterest and Instagram And when it was confirmed, actually, I was having twin girls, it was amazing to be able to just fucking delete that picture and be like, yes, I've done it. Like, I've fucking done it. And so I created the first vision board that I have in a long, long time. And those pictures, they were getting me excited. They were getting me riled up. They were like, yes, I can fucking do this. So this is just your reminder. Go back to the basics. If you haven't got a vision board on your phone, go on Pinterest, go on Instagram, go on fucking OnlyFans, wherever you need to go to get your pictures that are going to light up your world and make you feel excited. And make yourself a little collage. Get it on the wallpaper and screensaver of your phone. And it is honestly so powerful to just be reminded of those goals every single time you pick up your phone. It's a little bit like point 5, right? Going back to looking at what I wanted out of my year. What did I want for myself for 2024? Did I want to write a book? Did I want to be the healthiest, happiest version of myself? Did I want to be more connected? Did I want to... All these things, right? It can be hard to remember them when you are just in the everyday slog of life. And a great way to remember is to put those goals and to put those intentions in image form, because a picture tells 1,000 words, my friend, and be able to see that both consciously and subliminally hundreds of times a day when you're picking up your phone. Okay, number 7 is that I planned my day out in advance. Now, if ever I feel super overwhelmed and super unmotivated, planning my day out the night before is like the number one way to get me going in the morning. For me, I remember listening to a podcast about willpower, or maybe it was a book I read. I don't remember. It was somewhere. And it was saying that willpower is not a finite resource. It's not something that can just keep going, keep going, keep going. We only have so much willpower a day. And that's why it's so, so important to get all of the friction, the static, the annoying little bits and pieces that you're like, oh God, I need to do this, but I haven't got that. I need that thing to do this thing. Or, you get what I'm saying, right? And that is why the night before I plan out my day, I work out exactly what I need. If I've got a Zoom meeting, I make sure I've got the link where I need it so that I can just tap it open. I make sure that when I wake up that next day and I want to have a great, productive, effective day, that there's nothing standing in my way. I can just get straight on with it. Sometimes decision paralysis can absolutely drain your energy. So taking all of that out the night before and planning out your shit, it's a goddamn game changer. That's all I'm going to say. Taking control of your time and energy is a way to just feel really good about yourself. It's an amazing way to take back control of your day and to say, this is how my fucking life is going, okay? Number 8 is to let someone else switch up your energy for you. Now, we all have somebody that can switch up our energy, right? It could be that friend that when you call them, they're just good vibes. They make you laugh. Or maybe if you're crying, they'll cry with you and then they'll make you laugh. It could be your favorite podcast. It could be a TV show. It could be anything. It could be a song that really makes you feel really high vibe. Sometimes we can't do it alone, and it's totally okay to enlist other people, whether they know it or not, into helping you switch up your vibe. So for me, definitely, I have a podcast, My Favorite Murder, that when I listen to it, it's honestly like therapy for me. And I have looked into this. I've looked into why people relate to podcasters really hard. Like, when you listen to a podcast, you feel like you really know the person, right? And that's because our first sense of connection, or one of our first senses of connection, should I say, when we're in the womb, is voice. We hear our mother's voice before we ever see her, right? So that's why when we hear a voice, particularly if we don't see the person, we're not looking at them talking. This is why I hate it that everyone like films their podcasts these days. You actually get a very intimate connection with that person because you're just listening to their voice. I don't know. There's a whole thing about it. Google it. I'm not making it up. It's true. And so, yeah, for me, I just have a couple of different podcasts, but I'd say definitely the My Favourite Murder one, I listen to that and instantly my mood is changed. So you don't need to go this alone. Let somebody else help you switch up your energy with you. Did that sentence make sense? I hope so. And number 9, I'm going to say it. And I hate myself for saying it because it's so fucking cliche. But again, I heard something the other day about cliches. Where was this? I feel like it might be in a book I'm reading at the moment. It was saying that the best advice and the best wisdom you could ever hope to find are actually within cliches, because they are cliches for a reason. They have been said so many times because they are actually so true. And so I'm going to give you a cliche now. But get outside in nature and move. So on the weekend, last weekend, I had my only child-free weekend of the entire summer holidays. Was I out getting a dick slap around my face? No, I wasn't. Was I out day drinking rosé with my friends? No, I wasn't. I had no motivation, energy, space, bandwidth for any kind of making plans or seeing people. I just didn't. We all have those times, don't we? We're just like, I just haven't got it in me. Just have not got it in me. And so I decided I'm going to wake up in the morning, and I got my trainers on. I went out and I went for a hike around my village, around parts that I've never fucking seen before. When I bought this house, the lady that I bought it from said, oh my God, there's the most beautiful walk just down the street there. So you just go down the lane, you turn right, and there's horses and there's a stream, and it's really beautiful. I've lived here for nearly 2 years, okay? Nearly 2 years. And I have never fucking seen these horses or this stream. It turns out it is a solid 10-minute walk from my house. And I've had this beautiful hike in my colour therapy sunglasses that were supposed to help like with anxiety. And I had my new AirPods in. I was listening to a podcast and some music that was really high vibe, and I was visualising. And I felt fucking great. I felt absolutely amazing. I met this lady on the way that is my friend's mum, and she was like, I'm going stand-up paddleboarding next week. Would you love to come and do it with me? And I was like, do you know what? I would love to come and do that. I've got 3 children, so I probably can't, but I would love to do that. And it was great just to have that connection and that interaction, and then see the sun and feel the wind on my face. And it was glorious. Now, I did also get massive blisters on the back of my feet from doing this walk, which just goes to show how little I normally walk. And I'm still recovering. I'm literally a week later nearly. I'm still recovering. So yes, I really enjoyed that hike, but fucking hell, my feet paid for it afterwards. So I've not been able to do it since. But as soon as my blisters are healed, I'm getting back out there. Or maybe I'll go in my Birkenstocks. Maybe I'll go with something with no back on. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's it. I wish I had 10 tips for you, because as I said, it would make this podcast sound so much better. But 9's all I've got. Let's add a 10. Hydrate yourself. Always ask yourself, am I depressed? Am I feeling down? Or am I just dehydrated? There we go. There's 10. But these things do sound super simple, right? These tools and these techniques sound super simple. And you might think, that's never going to work for me. But honestly, they really, really do. Waking up and asking yourself, what do I need today? What do I need today? What do I need to do? What do I need to give myself? It will give you a great insight into what you truly need to get to that next step. Having that gratitude playlist. We all have it on our Spotify account, right? We've all got a gratitude playlist. How often do you actually play it? Getting that playlist out and blasting it out and singing and dancing like you're doing your very own rain dance is a vibe. Asking the universe to co-create with you, super powerful. Writing a gratitude list. It's one of these things that's such a basic, it's such an elementary, entry-level thing that we do with the law of attraction. And yet, look at me, I ain't fucking done it in 8 months. Revisiting your goals and looking what you wanted for your year and refreshing yourself on exactly what direction you're wanting to go in and what you're wanting to do. Getting excited again about where you're heading in life. Creating a vision board so that you can be reminded of this. Planning your day out in advance so that you can just wake up and fucking steam ahead with that full willpower. And letting someone else help you. Switching up your energy. Whether that person is in your real life, whether it's a TV show, whether it's a podcast. Guys, you know what started yesterday? The new season of Emily in Paris. I am so excited. I've been waiting. I'm going to absolutely demolish it in one sitting. No, I won't do that. I'm going to do it in at least 3 sittings. But I absolutely love Emily in Paris. It is my guilty pleasure. Don't judge me for it. I can't wait for it. And I know that it's going to make me feel absolutely high vibe. I know it will. And getting outside and moving, it honestly all makes such a difference. Now, would any one of these things absolutely transform your day and get you back on the right trajectory? Probably not. Probably not. But doing a couple of these together absolutely will. Remember that brick life, right? Every single positive little action you take will help raise your vibration and get you back to where you want to be. So just lay a brick, lay a brick, lay a brick, and before you know it, you've got a whole house. All right, bitches, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy this podcast, please do share it with a friend. Sharing is caring. Let them know that you're listening. Send them a link to an episode that they might need. Maybe they've been having their own pity party and been down in the dumps. And you're like, here, bitch, this is what you need to perk you back up. Try this. I'd really appreciate that. You can share that you're listening on your stories. I absolutely love that. I'll repost as many of you as I can. And you can rate, review, subscribe. It really helps podcasters out, and it takes seconds and it's free, but it really helps us to get ranked and for more people to see us and find us. So thank you so much to everyone that does that. I do read all of your reviews. Fun fact, that's actually something I do, but I didn't include it in my top 10 because it's not really something you can do, but well, unless you're a podcaster too. But when I feel really down, I go through my reviews, and apart from the odd fucking 1-star Karens, I'll read all my reviews. Sorry, I sounded really bitter. Got really angry then. Really angry, really bitter. Apart from those odd ones, I get such incredible reviews, and I love to hear about how simply listening to a podcast like this has changed your life. And I fucking love that. I love that for you. I love that for me. So I do read all my reviews. Please leave me a review if you care to do so. You can find me on the gram, as always, living my best summer holidays life. I'm basically either pole dancing or hanging out in flower fields with my daughters. That's basically how I'm living my life right now. You can find me. I'm at Law of Attraction, Changed My Life, and at Francesca Amber. And for anything else you want to find, subliminals, workshops, I don't know, book club details, everything is at francescaamber.com. And I'm going to see you bitches next week. The Law of Attraction has changed my life. It's going to change yours too. Bye.